Madonna, I think, was always trying to get a reaction out of people.
I came to the University of Michigan from a school in New York. I knew a couple of people, and we got an apartment together. It was a couple of guys and me, but I needed someone to share my room. And someone said, oh, there's a girl in the department who is looking for a roommate too. I remember the first time that she came over, she was a little intimidating to me. She had a shirt on that was all cut up, like she had taken scissors and cut it up on purpose. She sat on the couch opposite me and kind of just took over the room. The two guys were like, just like staring, which of course I didn't like at all. We lived in a sort of modern high-rise apartment building called University Towers. She was fun to live with once we got to know each other. She could be so sweet and very affectionate, a lot of teasing, a lot of double entendre, a lot of a sense of being allies. She needed an ally. In the ground floor was Miller's Ice Cream Parlor, and we both got jobs there at the same time. And I remember the woman who hired us was this big woman named Barb, and she was really tough. In the interview, she said, you girls have to wear bras. And so we had this big discussion when we got back up to the room about, okay, are you gonna wear a bra? I mean, I'm not gonna have her tell me whether I'm gonna wear a bra or not, and that sort of thing. She could make anything look good, like an old man's shirt that I didn't want anymore, and she would like raid it out of my closet and she'd put it on, and I'd look at it and I go, wait a minute, that looks really good. Why did I throw that out? And then of course she'd keep it.
Hello, Junior. This is Madonna. Are you there?
She scrounged everything she had. She borrowed, she stole stuff. She, it was all about obtaining. Down in the basement of Miller's was where they kept all the food. We would go down and get frozen fish and cans of soup and, of course, ice cream. And so that's what we lived on. Hate to say it. A night after we'd been out dancing, got home at 2 or 3 in the morning, she'd be up at maybe 8 o'clock in the morning, out the door, and in the dance department.
She was an excellent student, very disciplined. I remember her standing always in the front row. She got into many major dances that we did that would normally not even cast undergraduates, much less a freshman. One of the highlights for me was the duet that I made for her with Josh Cabot, which is a kind of male-female confrontation, face-to-face. It was sexual. She has to roll on him and be on her hands and confront him. She really, I think, uses all of her power that she had then to do it. She was very, very small. I bet she weighed less than 100 pounds. And so she didn't have a lot of power and strength. There's a softness and actually a vulnerability that's really beautiful that comes out. There's no question in my mind that she would have been a professional dancer if she wanted to have gone that route. I remember going dancing with her and Christopher Flynn. Now, this is not something that I did.
The Rubaiyat was the gay bar in town. It was the best place to go dancing. It was the only place to go dancing.
That she could go discoing with her teachers as a freshman was kind of a big deal. I mean, freshmen didn't go out dancing with their teachers.
The mission was, as you got to the dance floor, to clear the place out so that we would be in the center of the room and everybody else would just like cut us a lot of space. One time we were dancing together and we were both really into it and having a great time, and she slugged me. She didn't intend to slug me, but she really nailed me good. She kept dancing and I went in the bathroom and put cold water on my face till the swelling went down. And then I went back onto the dance floor and she seemed really impervious to that. It seems like if you were dancing with somebody and your hand made really strong contact with their face that you would know it, right? I think I told her, I said, hey, you slugged me, but I don't remember her being particularly apologetic.
I first met Madonna in Christopher Flynn's ballet class. Madonna was, I think, a favorite of Christopher's, definitely. He liked to use her to demonstrate the way he liked the dancing done. I remember thinking, this kid's going to go somewhere. I had designed a dance that was based on a street scene, a theatrical dance. Madonna was a very theatrical performer. So she was one I asked immediately to be in my dance. Each dancer did a solo, and they would dance in front of their images. One of the photographs I took of her, she didn't think was flattering.
We collided in this interesting way because she appeared to want to be my friend and made great protestations of affection and love for me and so on and so forth. And so just simply a friend, you know, a girlfriend love. There was never anything sexual between us. Though there was a lot of physical affection and hugs and kisses and so on, but in a Victorian way. Whether that was genuine or not, who knows, you know? I did feel that for all our closeness, that I wouldn't put it past her to walk out the door, go hang out with somebody else and, you know, say something about me.
My sense of Madonna was that she didn't waste time.
She didn't want to spend 4 years getting a degree.
Her passion was herself, the project of Madonna.
I think she was tired of the preparation work that goes into being a performer, and she wanted to go out and make her mark.
She wanted to move on, which we supported.
Madonna had decided to go to New York. She was a little nervous, you could tell. The last time I saw her and spoke to her was when we put her on the airplane.
She had one foot out the door, I mean, in terms of our friendship.
Madonna clearly wanted attention at all times.
She had to be noticed, and she made it her business to be noticed all over the world.
I don't know that she wanted to be a star as much as she wanted to be a success.
Secretly, I'd love to know what it feels like, Virgo.
I first encountered Madonna at the University of Michigan at a scholarship audition for the American Dance Festival. We had about 80 dancers, and I saw among the 80 this very thin, dark little girl pushing herself around, working very hard, and I thought, that's interesting, let's take her. Toward the end of the course, she said to me, do you think you're going to need any dancers in New York? I said, Madonna, you've got to go home to Michigan first, and how are you going to get to New York? And how are you going to live there? She said, don't worry. She was young, and she was determined to do it right and well. November rolled around, and I was teaching a class, and the door opened, and there was Madonna. She had come. One day she came in with a sweater cut from the neck all the way down to below the waist. Cut. And a safety pin about a foot long holding this garment together, but it was dripping off of one shoulder. And I looked at her back, and I thought to myself, she's going to do something someday. She came with, I believe, 1 or 2 other people from Michigan. They found a closed-up synagogue where they were living, and I was worried about her. I got her a job at the Russian tea room in the cloakroom. The arrangement was that they would feed her because I was really worried about how she's going to eat in New York.
Money for that, too.